A Gold Star family is a family, any member who has lost their family member in a military action. Could be wartime, could be peacetime. We have two Gold Star families on our board. One is Nancy Boudreau, and her husband was killed in 1990, Major Wayne Boudreau, local boy. And the other one is Susan and Greg Fazzari, and that's more recent and is well known in this valley. The entire town turned out when their son Matt returned home. So it's very personal, it's very special, and we have received so much approval and response from people who are glad that this monument is coming to our valley. It'll be the first in Washington State, and it's a place where people can assemble, where they can come visit with others who are of similar circumstances or just be recognized as a Gold Star family.
What was the inspiration for this?
Well, I would have to say that the first inspiration was my dear neighbor, Betsy Reed Schultz. And she was my neighbor in Port Angeles, and her son, Joseph Schultz, Captain Joseph Schultz, was killed in Afghanistan. And was our only child. He was extremely outstanding. It was a brutal death, and she marshaled herself, her resources after that, and started the Captain Joseph House Foundation. And she has single-handedly, with groups of volunteers and funding from all over the country, she travels extensively, has gotten her Captain Joseph House up and on its legs, fully remodeled. It has an elevator, and they can provide respite for any Gold Star family for a week. And they provide all of the transportation and everything in their care while they're there. They feed them, entertain them, talk with one another. And she is a real dynamo. And I don't think that I would have been able to endure what she has been through. My children were all in the military and came home, but her only child did not come home. And so it was just a devastating blow. I didn't know her well before her son was killed, but we became very close after that. And there is a web page, Captain Joseph House Foundation. You can see all about her project and how that ministers to the Gold Star families. I asked her when she was starting out, I said, well, if you started having guests come now, you know, how long would it take to have all of the Gold Star families visit for a week? She said, I will never finish. And that was astonishing to me. She can host 3 families a week. And so that project is just now, I think they're just receiving guests. It's been about 5 or 6 years in progress. Wonderful project, and she has dedicated her life to that project. So that was my first introduction to what a Gold Star family is and what that designation means.
And obviously when you came back here, you heard about this potential to place this monument at Fort Walla Walla. You heard about it, or you started the wheels going?
Well, I was introduced to Woody Williams, who is the instigator of the Gold Star Monument projects. And I met him a year ago in West Virginia. He's a real dynamo. He's about 2010, I think, he and his wife said, you know, we should have a monument that commemorates Gold Star families. That would be a good thing to do, and we should do that. So they did. And the first monument was installed in Charleston, West Virginia, I think about 2012. Well, the project has exploded, and since then, what did I tell you? There's 49 completed, I believe.
That's right.
And there are 53 more in progress, which is way up from where we were last year when we started. But I saw the monument, and because of
You actually saw one
I
of the
saw the
monuments.
first one. Yeah.
The first one?
Yeah, the one that Woody built in Charlotte, or Charleston, West Virginia.
My.
Beautiful thing, and that's on our website. If you go to our website, you can see a picture of it.
Maybe you could just repeat that website for people that
Okay.
maybe are watching us and being able to get their smartphone.
So the website for Woody's Foundation is hwwmohf.org, which stands for Herschel Woody Williams Medal of Honor Foundation.org. And he and his wife Ruby started that in 2010, and she is since deceased. His grandsons now are helping him with the project, and he travels about 200 days a year.
200 days a year.
Yes.
At what age?
He's 95. He'll be 96 this year.
Gil. I mean, that's a Medal of Honor in itself.
Yes, yes.
That's right.
Yeah, and I guess that's bringing up the Medal of Honor. I haven't let you finish what he is.
Yes, he's a Medal of Honor recipient. He's the oldest living from the Pacific Theater. There's 4, I think, remaining from the World War II era, and he's one of them. There is film that you can see if you just go to YouTube and type in Woody Williams or Herschel Woody Williams or Iwo Jima or any of those things, and the list of YouTube videos will come up. There's a wonderful one that UPS has produced that is about Woody and his boyhood friend, whose name was Leonard Brown. And he and Leonard, very modest upbringing, very rural area. And they talked about what they were going to do when they grew up. And he says, well, you should go in the military. And so they discussed that. And Woody was unable to convince Leonard to join the Marine Corps.
And a monument like this, this is very, very expensive.
It is.
And even though the foundation, I'm sure, has connections, and I'm assuming that all the monuments over the country are like this. This is the bona fide Gold family monument
The
style.
front of the monument that you see on screen has the gold star on it, and that is consistent over the United States. Now on the back of the monument, we will personalize that to the Walla Walla community.
I see.
All of the funding is done here locally. We do run it for the foundation, so you get the tax-deductible contribution. But we're on our own, and we're pedaling along pretty well.
A great chief executive once said that the country that forgets those who has defended her will soon herself be forgotten. And this memorial monument will ensure that at least here in Walla Walla, that the loved ones they paid their ultimate price in combat, they will not be forgotten. Their families will not be forgotten. The reason for our military won't be forgotten. That's very important in my estimation. The United States of America, I carry coins like this in my pocket. This is a Liberty silver dollar. Sometimes I carry a Benjamin Franklin half dollar. The reason I do that is because our patriotic ethos is codified on these coins. There are 3 phrases. Some people call it the American Trinity. And the first phrase is E pluribus unum, from the many, one, which is very typical of the United States. The second one, second in importance also, is liberty, and the final one is in God we trust. Men like Matt Fazzari fight for those ideas, and they have paid with their lives fighting for those ideals. That's why I am so behind this, because those things need to be remembered in addition to Matt and his family. In that order, we remember first the person who's fallen, very important. Secondly, their family, equally as important. And then when we look at that monument, we think of what makes this country so great, which is what military people are fighting for. And I buried people in Arlington Cemetery. I knew back then why they were serving their country, why they were willing to take the risk, and in some cases those people paid the ultimate price. When I handed a flag to a widow, which was never a pleasant experience, it never was, but it was a duty I had to do. And that widow knew, or that mother knew, or that father knew that their loved one had paid a very, very right, true, honorable, very excellent sacrifice for what the United States stands for. So when she told me about this, I said, I'm all on. Dad. I'm in this big time.
Well, thank you, both of you, for joining me here on Valley Viewpoint and our family. Thank you for joining us on Valley Viewpoint. I'm Roger Johnson.